Right, here we are, April. Things are happening so fast. Thought it was time for another walk around. Coming up past the studio. Taking a quick look to the left, and you can see although you can't smell, you can see Magnolia doltsopa in the background with its white, creamy white scented flowers. Then up here we've got the rather jolly Doronicums, Lifford's Bane with rather attractive iris. Again, I'm afraid this is not a smelling machine. And here, as we go up, is the American buffalo currant, Ribes odoratum, and that, my goodness, is very odoratus at the moment. Lovely scent. Let's come past and through the gates. Right, back up into the garden. There's Yellow River, the last of Wadder's memory, as it were, and there's Star Wars. Heading towards Leonard Messel. So there we have Yellow River. Wonderful against the blue sky, of course. Yellow and blue, a winning combination, really. Jeannie, Pirouette, and Susan beginning to flower. We're going to go down to the favourite rhododendron of mine. Appearing now on our left. Loderi, King George. Again, this is where I rather worry that there isn't any scent to this video. Otherwise, you get the most wonderful fruity scent from it. Absolutely unmistakable, and a welcome in the spring. I said the Yellow River reminds me of Elizabeth, and here is Elizabeth coming out. It's an old tree I planted in the 1980s. One of the first of the yellow magnolias, so-called. Although it's a creamy colour and definitely one of the best. Onwards. Lovely new growth on Asa Sengogaku. And its orange stems. Now we're going to go up to the pièce de résistance of this garden, if you happen to be a botanist the old tennis court. There's the cordyline divisor, another New Zealand cabbage tree, rather exotic, the grey form of the Mediterranean fan palm, and next to it the 20-year-old specimen of the Chilean wine palm, Jubea chilensis. And there is, yep, the pièce de résistance of the garden, a shrub I brought back from China, from Sichuan in 2004, and it has really not looked back. It's called Litsea populifolia, or the poplar-leafed Litsea, and it tends to flower around Easter, so it's more or less on time this year. It's covered in flowers. Again, the backdrop of the blue sky sets it off beautifully, I think. So this is one for Roy Lancaster, who covets this shrub, and when he came round in October took 1,000 photographs of it, sometimes actually on his knees. Going past another plant that took Roy's eye, the podocarp from China, the only podocarp that isn't southern hemisphere. It's a strange creature, rather bushy. And this particular seedling has gone a most peculiar shape. It's sort of gone berserk, really. Yes. Anyway, I brought you here to show you the tulips which Martin Ricks gave me, collected in Crete. Tulipa saxatilis. They travel by underground stolons and form quite a big patch, but they are very beautiful, I think. Tulipa saxatilis. Gosh, difficult to pronounce. And in amongst them is the new growth of the peonies, which of course is absolutely beautiful as well. And in the back is a yellow perennial, which has the most extraordinary name, Valeriana fu aurea. And I know I told Jimmy Smart the name of it years ago, and he wouldn't believe it was a proper name, but it is. I can assure you, Valeriana fu aurea. But it's a lovely contrast to the peony stems. Well, we'll go back home. Going a slightly different way. There's a little wild white lilac, beautifully scented. Can't smell it through here, of course. Hindwater's memory, and the magnificent Drymis winteri latifolia from Chile, flowering its heart out. And show you a group of red hot pokers which are very early flowering and very often get frosted, so they don't seem to flower very well. But after our mild winter, they're really doing their stuff. An interesting colour, large flowers. And then a last look back at Magnolia Yellow River, and now back we go. There's a standard wisteria which is completely full of bud. So 2-3 weeks time it'll be an absolute picture. So back we come. Neil and his friend visiting their bees. I'm going to show you a funny thing. Last year I dumped our spring pot urn unceremoniously upside down onto the ground. And imagine my surprise when this year the tulips that were in it have started flowering beautifully, much better than if I'd tried to keep them in the pot, I should imagine. And the wallflower came out quite early as well. Isn't it extraordinary? And they're on the ground more or less, the bulbs. So I must try this more often.